Too bad we didn't do the anime 86 for this episode.
I know, right?
Ah, that would have been perfect. Oh well, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm always amazed. I was like, never thought we'd get this far.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's been fun.
Yeah, which one was that episode? It was like episode 60 something, right?
That we did do 86.
Yeah.
I think it was somewhere in the 60s. Can't remember.
Yeah, and
well,
it was terrible.
It was, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh man, yeah. I rarely look at the past. Oh my. Welcome to another episode of Jobless Weebs, episode 86. Hello and welcome. I'm Brian, and with me today,
Mark of the Big Brown Mexican.
That's right. How have you been lately?
I've been good. This week was kind of slow at work.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. At the same time, I didn't have a lot of things to do, which it was good and bad.
Oh, right.
I'm not as stressed as I was, like the week before, because I was finishing projects and trying to even to catch up with editing and a few other things. So yeah, I would say that this week has been a lot more relaxing.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
Than previous ones. Yeah. What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I've been very lethargic for quite some time, and yeah, I actually am in kind of a tough spot in my life personally, but powering through it, getting through it, I think. Yeah, just taking it slow, one day at a time. I've been watching some good anime, so that's also been really good for me.
Yeah. we've been watching anime. I want to redeem myself from the last what we will be watching.
Oh yes.
So I'm getting prepared for the next one.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes. We're gonna be a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely will. Yeah. And like not to the point where we know how many times the character went to the restroom.
Yeah, we won't know
but,
all the details like that.
But we won't be as naive as like, oh, this one looks pretty good because the picture's pretty.
Right, yeah.
So it's like,
we want to provide authentic.
Yeah, I've been diving a little more into the new mangas, and I might be tempted to even dip my toes into a few of the light novels.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay, maybe. I know a couple of resources for that.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, I can send you some links that I use. But yeah, I think more of like a general sense.
Yeah, and especially because lately, a lot of anime's adaptations have been skipping the manga. And
I feel like that too.
I mean, it was. It's not like it was not normal, because a lot of animes in the past have been adapted from like either novels or light novels.
Yeah.
But it has been more recent in years that it's like, they get an anime from the light novel, and also it's like, oh, they get a manga because of the light novel.
Because of the light novel, yeah.
And it was more common to know like, oh yeah, this anime, the source material is a manga.
Yeah, and that's good. Yeah.
So now that anime is becoming more global, like they are adapting a lot more isekais. I mean, a lot more stories.
Oh, true.
Mostly isekais, but
this is true. Directly from light novels. Yeah.
But I think we're gonna do good next one. We'll be watching.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm already pinpointing the ones that I'm not gonna watch, because even like the story, it's not to my liking.
There you go. Yeah.
But Yeah, I'm gonna try to give like an objective opinion for everyone who might want to give it a try.
Oh,
But yeah,
yes. That's a good attitude. I like that. That's good to really narrow it down. That's good. This today's episode, we are talking about one of the previous seasons episode. With this kind of transition period, I like to look at or try to catch up on some of the ones that maybe we didn't completely finish up to this point. So today we wanted to talk about Buddy Daddies,
yeah,
which was one of those ones we talked about, and in saying that it was like would be kind of similar to like previous anime that we have seen, but in kind of like a different light.
yeah. It is an anime from
Mhm.
this last season,
That's
winter 2023,
Yep.
and it's an original anime
Yeah. From
from
PA
PA
Works.
Works,
Yeah.
and it's like
So already I'm like really pumped. I'm a
yeah,
fan of
and we have
PA.
a lot of videos talking like good stuff about PA Works,
We
and even
do.
like some of the special episodes like Akiba Made War or Tari Tari.
Oh, ooh,
It's
yes.
like, yeah, those are PA Works, and those are like in way different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And especially given the fact that Akiba Made War was this, I mean, as I mentioned in the special video, like a Narcos but made version.
Narcos Saints. Oh yes.
It's like, oh yeah, it's like there are no drugs, but it's like there's a lot of gunfights and there's at least more than one casualty at the end of each episode.
Yes.
And it has this some sort of like comedic trace that it's just there to help lighten up the mood, because it's like, okay, like in the first episode it's like, oh yeah, it's like an idol song and it's just like,
oh well,
I've got gunfight,
right, the guns blazing.
Yeah, crazy, but for the Buddy Daddies, let me tell you,
oh yes,
there was a lot less blood than what I was expecting.
Oh, okay. Yes, it coming from the previous ones that they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would agree. It has violence, but not like bathing.
Yeah, and also because that's not the theme. That's not exactly the central theme, because the central theme is more like a family type.
That's right.
Slice of life anime.
Yeah, it is. It is more like slice of life. So, I wanted to cover like that. It is a slice of life, but also almost like a child care type of anime. But then where it's going and why it's like the way it is. So at the beginning, we're introduced to a couple of this anime is about a couple of hitmen.
It's
Kasuki,
Kurusu, and Rei.
Yeah.
Was it Rei?
Yes, yeah, Rei.
What was his last name? Suwa.
That's right. Yeah, so the two of them, they're hitmen. We kind of go through. We kind of are introduced to them when they're doing this hit at a hotel, and Kazuki is the one pushing like the cake cart, and then we don't see Rei quite yet, but we do see Kazuki dressed up in a Santa suit, so it's already kind of odd, kind of offbeat almost. They go into the elevator, but then right away there's a kid who comes in and is like super energetic, and like she's like around 3 or 4.
I think she's 4. Yeah,
she's 4. Yep. And so she's high energetic, and she's like, what in the world? She's not really like curious, but in that stage of life where it's like, oh, like everything's like okay, or she's really energetic and perky. So she takes a lick of the cake, but then suddenly we also are introduced to the two of them fighting in this hotel, and they're like totally destroying everybody. But then the guy in the front tries to take the girl as a hostage, but then is taken out also by Ray, and and it's like bullets flying everywhere, a little bit of blood, but yeah, it's not quite as like even made wars.
Yeah.
but it is high violence, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for a few episodes it is.
Yeah.
And after she gets taken hostage, she's like, "Hey, mister, are you my dad?"
Oh,
he's like,
yes.
"Shut up, you little girl." And so Kasuki is like, "Oh, the name of the girl is Smeety." And it's like, "Oh, Smeety, guess what? I'm your papa." He's like, "Come to my arms." And like, she jumps, and it's like that. There's some sort of like, anime physics there.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yes.
And the guy, it's taken down. Turns out that this guy was like the ringleader of like a human trafficking network. So it's like pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And it also turns out that the girl who was looking for her dad, turns out that that guy was.
Oh, yes.
Her dad.
Her actual dad, yeah. And he's dead now.
Yeah, like those two guys, Rei and Kurisu, killed him. And they're like, "What do we do now?"
What do we do?
They're like, "Let's keep it."
Let's keep her. Yeah, seriously.
I mean, they ended up keeping her just because, like, oh well, you know what? We should look for her mom, because because her mom sent her, and well, we kind of killed his dad, which probably his dad had definitely no idea that she was his daughter.
Right, or even that he had a daughter.
Yeah. And later on, we discover that he did not know.
Yeah. So they do take her home. Is it right away they take her home?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, they live in this kind of like this penthouse style apartment, and they're just two bachelors.
Yeah.
Like two guys just living there.
And so
all the harmony is disrupted by this little devil.
Oh, yep. She always gets into things. She basically like
playing hide and seek.
Yeah, she upends
using the guns.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Yeah, this is so funny. Getting into messes and like wrecking everything that they're doing. It's really funny. But once again, the slice of life thing, it kind of there's a lot less plot in this than some people may suspect. Like, a lot of it is them trying to help her, or them trying to like incorporate her in their lives. She's basically just disrupting everything that they do, either with like cooking or with Ray, how always he's so sullen. She also like starts playing video games with him too. But then I remember with the daycare episode where they try to like find a daycare or a place for her to spend time outside of the apartment. And so when they do try to like find a daycare, they're always rejected. They're like, oh no, there's no room. It's like, oh, go to the government. So they have to go to the government to make a daycare or like find a daycare for her. And it almost ends up in tragedy since they have to forge all the paperwork. that that was really funny.
I mean, because the thing is, like, these are hitmen. These are like single hitmen, like of two guys that are like in their mid-20s or early 30s, and they don't know anything else other than killing people. So it's like they just suddenly have this 4-year-old that is full of energy and it's really attached to their papas.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
So they're like, oh well, we cannot work, and it's like, yeah, it's really cute, but we need money. We have a job to do as hitmen.
Hitmen. That's right. Yep. Yeah.
And so yeah, for the first, I would say, what, like 9 episodes?
Yeah. 9.
It's just them trying to find a balance between their really dangerous job and becoming a family. Because it's like during the first episodes, they try to find the mom. Yeah. And what was the name of the guy that the broker?
Oh yeah, Kazuki.
No, the broker. The broker. The information broker. Q.
Oh yeah, Q-chan.
Yeah, in the coffee shop.
Oh yes, that's right.
He's like, oh yeah, you know what? It's like, yeah, that doll that you found in your last job, which you make a huge ruckus. Like, here's the address of the mom, and it's like, and he goes because they're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, we cannot live this way. Yeah, because it's like, we're hitmen. Yeah, it's like we cannot have a small children with us. They're like, yeah, they go find the mom. Turns out that the mom is not in the best of places. Yeah, and that she abandoned her daughter pretty much. Basically, which is like, okay, like, you thought it was a good idea, like leaving your daughter with like a human trafficking guy? You're like, really?
Right.
Like, you should have dropped her like at an orphanage or something, at least. Right, at least. Like, why send her with that type of person? It's like, okay. It's like,
yeah, it's like, it's really, really not great. And then she, speaking of the mom's like place in life, she's trying to make a living out of singing at this like bar or whatnot. Yeah. But she also has an abusive guy that she's with. And so in that interaction, she tries to stand up for the guy, but then with the Papa Kazuki, right?
Yeah, he was Kasuki.
Yeah, with him, she's really blatant and really like, oh no, like, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah, because she's like, oh no, this girl is making fun of me because she's laughing at me. It's like, it's
your daughter.
It's like, it's your daughter. It's a little girl. It's like, yeah. At that time, they're happy. Okay, so it's like, yeah. So Kazuki sees that, he's like, you know what? You're a messed up adult. Yeah. I'm gonna take care of her. Yeah. And at the same time, it's like, you know, Rei is also having some bonding time with Miri, because like Kasuki and Rei, they are not exactly, you know, the type of adults to take care of a child, because they have their past.
That's right.
Rei is struggling with a death of a loved one. And no, Kazuki, sorry. Kazuki is struggling with the death of someone. And Rei is well, he has some weird daddy issues.
That's right. He's the son of a mob, basically, or
Yeah,
like he's the son of the head boss
yeah.
for their hitmen or like assassin uh, empire. So yeah, for Ray, it was fascinating because he also had some problems with like being shut in and being closed off to the world and everything. But he loves like video games, and he's also acting kind of like he's also kind of like acting like a spoiled child himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Kazuki has also helped Ray a little bit.
Kasuki is the mom.
He is, yeah, he is of that relationship. Yeah, it's great.
I
Uh,
I actually
Yeah.
liked Ray's character development the most
oh, really? Yeah,
because he went from like being completely closed out even with Kasuki because they became
true.
friends or like hitman partners.
Yeah.
They became a team, but they were not open about anything.
Mhm.
And he went from this being reclusive guy who rarely smile
Ah.
to like exclusively become an expert making French
French
toast
toast. Ah, yes.
with his daughter,
With his
with
daughter.
Miri.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and the field day we also I'd love to talk about. But yeah, Ray, he totally changes from that.
Because I feel like
I love that.
Kasuki, he was already like that.
Yeah, in a way.
He,
For him, it was hard.
it was just he was just stopping himself from
Yes.
being happy because of the death of someone dear
Yes.
to him.
That's right. That's right.
But it's like he was already like a care loving person.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh no, you know what? I cannot take care of this child and make her happy
Yeah.
because I messed up in the past because of my work.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. He could almost, and it's also Kazuki blaming himself um, for that death of his loved one. So yeah, it's incredible to see like the differences that they have, but also similarities that they have, where it comes to Miri being so energetic, but then for the two of them to try to go try to come together in this household, providing her like the best possible life that they could give to her.
Yeah, because they spoil her a lot.
They
It's
do.
like,
I mean, yeah.
I don't have
But
children
close.
myself.
Right.
It's like
me neither. But they
I have
spoil
like
her.
nephews and nieces, and
Oh
like,
yes.
so it's like I spoil them, but as an uncle, it's different
That's
than
right.
if you're a
Yeah.
parent, or at least that's what I would like to think. So it's like they spoil her, like they buy her expensive clothes.
Mhm.
I mean, up to a certain point, like a certain point where they like realize, like, you know what, maybe we're like a little bit over the top, like
Yeah.
protective, or like spoiling her a little bit more than what she needs, especially Kasuki starts
yes.
like thinking about like the scenarios where she is like a high school girl and she's like Breaking Bad, and
oh yeah,
he's like no, Miri, why did you do that? And like, don't call me old.
Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, those parts especially, and also to the point where he envisions that in providing for her as a guardian, that other guardians would kind of like judge them on their appearance, and so he goes out and buys expensive clothing for themselves, and then for Miri also, but to the point where it's so fancy that none of the kids want to play with her.
Yeah.
So it kind of backfired on him. But then when he learned that, he went back and got some like some regular normal clothing,
Right.
and that helped at that time. Oh, but yeah, he's a lot more thinking about like her place in society,
Yeah.
which is so great, so great.
Yeah, I thought that was another good thing of the anime, that is like,
Yeah.
like with every episode, it's just like them learning how to be a
Yeah.
family. Because
That's right.
like
That's
later on after that, on the sports event,
Oh
it's like
yes.
it's when they are like these now, like
Yeah.
they have like a strong bond. Because even Ray, it was just like, you know what, we're family now.
Yeah.
Because Miri on the race, on the scavenger hunt, like her paper was like family, so like it was just Ray and Kasuki, and they win. And it's like, oh, you know what, like this is so cute. Because like, yeah,
Oh yes.
they're now at the top, like they're happy now.
Yeah.
And as you know, it's like after that, it just kind of like starts crashing down a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the moms come back, and also Ray's dad, it's aware that Ray is hiding something from him. Because Ray, he's supposed to take care of, the family business of
yes.
of being killers.
Oh yes. Oh.
So he's like, yeah, you know what? You don't need attachments. So don't worry, I will take care of those attachments myself. And he's like, what the heck is happening here? Because
Right.
a lot of things are happening from like different sides.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Like turns out that Miri's mom, she has cancer. Was it cancer?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was it was cancer, and it was terminal. So she knew that she was dying, but I'm not sure if it's really said. I'm not sure if it really had like a time frame.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned
Yeah.
a time frame. Not that it was important.
Right. Because she basically begs them or tells them, like she should be with me, her mom. Um, and so they do struggle with that, letting her go. But yeah, she has an illness. She knows she's like going to die. And so she did change. And I think that's also what Rei and Kazuki kind of saw too, that people can change. But yeah, it starts with the mom coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
I was kind of mad. I was like, how dare you? Like,
Oh yeah.
you leave Miri
perfect
with her
family.
papas.
Yeah.
Like,
That's right. How could you?
like, how dare you come back after like 4 episodes? And
Yeah.
like, I don't know what happened during those
Right.
episodes, but I don't care.
Oh right.
It's
Yeah.
like, you leave that Miri with her papas now.
Yeah.
And at the same time,
Yeah.
Kazuki is like, well, we're technically
Mhm.
not related in any ways, and we do perform really dangerous jobs.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they can let her go, but at the same time, it is during this time that Ray's
yes.
father is like, you know what?
Yeah. Go and go and like rip away all of your attachments, all of that. And the boss, the thing with Ray's dad is that he also had that one guy under his employ, the Ogin or Odigan.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's like
Ogi? Ogi? Was it Ogi?
Yeah, it was like a really weird O name. And so yeah.
Ogino.
Ogino, that's right. And so Ogino, he is basically the right hand man of the boss guy. and he's like, no joke, totally unfeeling, and like
He's pretty messed up.
He's way messed up. Like, so he's not an assassin to be an assassin. He's an assassin to like kill people and hear the last words.
Yeah, I think like on the one episode is like, hey, why do you kill? It's like,
yeah,
I kill because I'm curious, and it's like, dude,
like,
it's like,
whoa. Yeah, and it's like he said, I remember specifically he said, I kill for the concept, and so like he's interested in people's last words because it apparently reveals why people live, or like the meaning of someone's life is wrapped up in their last words. So that's what this assassin thinks to himself, and it's like really, really messed up because all he does is like he has this little book too where he takes it out. Every time he takes out the little book, it's like, whoa, oh man.
You're like, dude, chill.
I'm like shaking my boots over here. And so they kind of interact a couple of times. Rei, he's told to assassinate this particular person who apparently had like ties to a girlfriend. So the guy dies, but then Rei kind of remembers that, and then as we talked before, the sports days where they kind of bond together really, really well. And then these next parts, they're where Rei has to go to his dad basically and say like I'm back. Oh wait, this is after the mom takes Miri back. That's really sad because it's like they have to do it. Oh, it's so sad because they're under that threat.
Because they were like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think we were able to change.
Yeah.
Once a hitman, always a hitman kind of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it was during this time that the father was like, oh, so you're gonna come back? It's like, well, you have to get rid of your attachments, so either you kill them or I kill them.
Yeah.
And so that they go, the Ogino goes to the mom's house and attacks her. Kasuki arrives. He's also attacked, but the mom is badly wounded.
Yeah.
And so she just pretty much tells Kasuki, like, well, take care of her, like, tell her sorry because her mom was selfish, and you know what, they make a run for it.
Oh, they do, yes.
And so in this part, then Kasuki meets with Rei at a safe house, and they're like, yeah, you know what, I think we should leave this business.
Oh yes.
Yep. So they go drop off Miri to school for like the Christmas presentation.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna come back. And Miri is like, so where's mom? And they're like,
she's not coming.
Like she's not coming. It's like, dude, why not? It's like, she had to go somewhere else, but if you sing really, really loud, she will hear you. It's like,
it's like,
oh crap.
Yeah, lying to their daughter basically.
So they do what every reasonable person would think of doing. Storm the castle.
And boy, do they do it in style. So they go in their little car. They come in and they're like, okay, here are all our weapons, and then like you want us to be split? Well, guess what? He's a living human weapon. And then whoa. Rei, he like goes ballistic on these guards, men. and totally knocks them all out. Then they hop into the car again, and then they go up to the car.
That part
and
was
then,
super funny because like I think that they would just wanted to, you know, crash the car at
Yeah.
the entrance. It's like, nope, they just get shot. It's like,
oh yeah, and they're stopped. Oh, that was such
like,
a cool scene.
well, it doesn't look as cool as I thought, but okay, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they come into the house, and this is pretty cool stuff. Like the angles and the fighting is all really cool, but then they're throwing also like the smoke bombs, and then when they get split, Kazuki sees a form in the gas coming out. He thought it was Rei, but it was the other guy, Ogino. And
Yeah.
and this is when it like, oh man, like I'm really glad that they animated it in the way that they did, and his death was so satisfying.
Oh yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if you
Finally
noticed,
happened.
but he was trying to reach his notebook to write his last words.
Oh no way!
You know, like he had like the freaking the freaking knife that Kasuki managed to like to stab him, but then they drop him and it's like it just finished stabbing him, and he was just like gonna grab his notebook, and then he was like, yeah, not happening. And like that's when he threw the lighter and everything went boom.
Okay.
But I was like, that dude like so messed up even with his own death. He's like, okay, I'm gonna write my last words.
Yeah. That I thought it was a very poetic death. He couldn't speak at all, and so that was also kind of like a poetic justice. So he couldn't speak at all. Oh, that was in the top satisfying deaths in anime. That's pretty high up there.
I guess, yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
I guess I was a little disappointed in a way on the last confrontation between Rei and
the dad.
And the dad.
In what way?
I mean, in a way that the dad lived.
Well, okay, well, in that,
but I mean,
yes.
I guess it was part of it because it was like
I see what you mean.
They just met each other and it's like, oh, what are you doing here? And he was about to shoot him, and then Rei was like, nope, not happening. He should have was like, you know what? And he's like, I'm not gonna be useful to you anymore. And he just shuts himself. I was like, why? Why? I don't quite understand because like, yeah, that wound is gonna heal. I mean, I've never been shot myself, so it's like. I don't know if like the movement of the arm will be the same or stuff after being shot. And honestly, I don't want to try it.
No. Yeah. I want to keep it. I'm gonna keep all my limbs. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was just a declaration from Rei to his dad or like his boss, because you know he always like pester Rei as like, yeah, you know what, I'm your boss.
Right. Wow, what a guy.
And yeah, you're like, it was just a statement of like, yeah, you know what, like, you had your chance, like, now don't bother me because I'm not betraying the organization. I'm like, I'm just out of here. And it's not like the dad had I mean, probably he had a lot of people, but you know,
well, he used to.
They made quite a ruckus.
They sure did. Yeah.
I don't think all the ruckus that they did, the people were left unconscious. I think that they were taken down.
I think so too. Yeah, a lot of them were killed.
So it's like, yeah, they just go there. And like, they part ways, and even the dad was like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, I'm still gonna shoot you. It's like, whatever.
And then he doesn't. Yeah,
he doesn't. Then they go to the Christmas festival. Miri was, you know, a little down because she didn't spot them. Then she saw them. She was like normal, and those guys were all beaten up.
Oh yeah.
And the rest was history.
That's
Kind of.
Yeah, that's right. We have a little time skip where she's going into high school now. I loved this part. And they have like a little cafe shop, and we see them a little bit older, of course, and the two of them are still like themselves, but in an older way, which was really heartwarming. But then Miri, she's of course going off to high school, but she has like a little moment where she takes a picture with all of them as a family. So yeah, it was, and the last episode was called daughter Daddies, so that was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you know what, like Body Daddies, it was just like, hey, like,
yeah,
we're two dudes,
right? We're like buddies, because that's like their hitman.
They're like, yeah, they were friends, and it's like they just happened to take care of a girl of a target that they killed.
Yeah, and then now it's like a 180 where they're truly daughter daddies. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, because I mean they left their hitman business. They did honest work.
Yeah,
and I think they even moved from Tokyo, right? Cause,
yeah, they did move. Yep,
because it was kind of like a beach.
That's right.
Part.
Yeah, they moved away. It's so good. I loved it.
So yeah, I like all the other like supporting characters, they were still there, like the teacher or like the other friends. Like you were able to see like the rest of the pictures.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good ending.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like, yeah, you know what? Like really, like the most dramatic part was the last sequence or the last battle.
Yeah.
And after that, they were just like a normal family.
Yeah. So good. Really loved it. If you're a fan of the type of anime where it's like childcare anime, this is highly recommended. Really
yeah, I mean, you know what? I like that because I kind of like these kind of like father-daughter or father-son type of anime. And with this one, it's like you have two dads and a daughter. So it's like, that's like double the fun.
Oh yes, yeah, double the fun. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good anime, a good story. Mm-hmm. It was more of like a slow life out of kind of like this really messed up environment.
Yes.
Of like, it's just two killers that they're trying to have a normal life.
Yeah.
For the girl.
Yeah.
It's like, how do they do that? Because for a lot of time, it's like, they are still acting as hitmen. Mm-hmm. Like when Miri goes to the zoo.
Yes.
How like that? There's this one kid that it's playing around or teasing her.
Yeah.
And Rei's like, I'm gonna kill it. He's like, okay, it's not cute when you do it.
Yeah, Rei.
Because Kasuki's always like, I'm gonna kill those guys.
And then Rei
starts with like, okay, don't do it because you don't look cute. Like you actually look serious. So
that's right.
Yeah, it was a great anime. If you missed the anime because you thought it was not worth watching, it is.
Oh yes,
it surprisingly has a lot of elements that doesn't make it like a boring anime.
Yeah.
So you have enough action or enough drama and comedy.
Yeah, to kind of uphold its own plot, but also its own kind of like comfy feeling. Yeah,
that's right. But I hope you guys liked it, and enjoy this new season of anime. Yeah. But if none of the new animes are like catching your attention right now, just give it a try to Body Daddies.
Yeah.
And it's complete now, so like you don't have to wait.
That's right. You could watch it
One
right now
week,
and
yeah.
binge it all
Yeah.
in one sitting.
Yeah, like what's 4 hours?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching it.
Thanks for joining
Keep
us.
watching anime. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.